Welcome to the Gig Podcast. This is part 2 of episode that, and now we're on this. Now, I'll tell you like this. We'll start right with this, all right? I'm Sean Cove. That's fucking payday.
Evening.
And if you don't know us by now,
go back and listen to the first part of the
you're
episode.
probably like most of the world. But maybe one day everybody will know us. Everybody who matters is here.
Yes.
If you're watching, it's because you matter.
Right.
We know that Cove likes rum chata.
Yes, we've talked about this.
Okay? My drink of choice.
Rum chata with a little, an espresso ice
With an
cube.
espresso ice cube.
And you're supposed to hit it with some Fireball, but you refuse to do that for some reason.
I don't do it. I just like raw rum chata, espresso ice cube.
You're not classy enough.
I'm not savage enough.
Okay.
I'm too classy
You're
for
too
fucking
classy.
drinking something like cinnamon whiskey.
You don't have the tolerance.
I don't have the fucking frat boyishness drinking habits to be drinking
you
that
want to
kind
pick
of
on
shit.
Johnny Drinks, you go right the fuck ahead. I'm not gonna.
Look, Johnny Drinks is a drinking man, though. You know?
Yeah.
That guy's a drinking man. Looks damn good for such a man who drinks.
Certainly does.
But
he knows moderation and hydration, it looks like.
Hydration is important, which actually reminds me I should probably drink a water in between this next one. But I usually drink rum chata
Right.
on a whim while I was at the liquor store today because I was picking up your salted caramel PBRs, which are also a favorite drink of mine.
Yep.
I decided instead of the rum chata, I was going to go with the old chila.
Something else from the chata family of drinks.
It's the same exact thing as a rum chata. I'm not sure if this is the bootleg brand or the classier brand, but we're going to have a...
Does it come from, does it come from the same country and everything? Like, is it...
I think rum chata comes from America.
Okay.
Yeah, this is bottled by the Sazerac Company in Louisville, Kentucky. So, it's rum chata. It's just the bootleg brand of rum chata. So, we're going to try it out. Hopefully, it's as good. And, I don't miss a beat here. Maybe it's better. I don't know. I know I've had it before, but I just don't remember it, to be fully honest with you.
So the actual rum chata, the flagship brand, that's made in Wisconsin.
Okay. So this is already boding well for it.
Yeah.
That it's made in a more alcohol-friendly... there's more history in Louisville, Kentucky, as far as the alcohols are concerned.
I feel like there's a shit ton of alcohol history in Wisconsin, but I understand what you're saying.
I think Wisconsin's more beer history.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking hard liquor history.
Well, you're talking mash and water.
And we're somewhere in between the two with a chata.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Good luck.
It tastes pretty much the same.
So here's
maybe a little bit sweeter.
Here's the question that you answer, and then
with a better aftertaste.
It tells us everything else. Do you have to power through that bottle, or are you just going to enjoy that bottle till it's done, and then the rum chata later?
Oh no, I'm rocking with this.
Okay, that's
like I don't have to go buy a bottle of rum chata.
That tells us everything we need to know.
Yeah, this is sufficient.
Okay.
Let me drink this water in between.
Yeah.
8
ounces for every glass. That way you don't have to worry about your hangover.
Is this 8?
That's probably 16.9.
So I'll be golden.
Yeah.
Do you remember back in the day, gleeding?
The little stream of saliva that comes out from under your tongue?
Yeah. Now, did you and your social circle,
right?
Did you call it a gleet with a T or a gleek with a K?
T.
Okay.
We were the T. We were gleet.
Now, when was it that you familiarized yourself with gleeding?
I'm going to say roughly 5th, 6th grade-ish was when it started to be a thing because kids would do it in class when the nun would turn around and try to hit her on the back. Yeah.
Can you gleet?
Not on purpose.
Like, sometimes you get an accidental
if
gleet.
I yawn, I can do it, but I can't just
with a yawn?
Like I yawn and then when I'm no,
yeet,
we're not
bro?
yeeting. I yawn and then when I'm done yawning for whatever reason I can do it, but I can't just do it on demand.
So I'm gonna keep that in mind
Okay.
and see if I can do it after a yawn
Right.
because I can never do it.
Right.
It's never something that came natural to me.
No.
And I think that it's a thing that either you got it or you don't. Ray, can you gleat is the question. Ray also says gleat
He's
with
got
a
the
T.
T also. He
Yeah.
knows.
Can you gleat is the more important question. I heard this topic broached on a podcast,
Okay.
but they were calling it gleeking.
Yeah, I've never heard it called that.
I've never heard it called gleeking either.
Okay.
However, these guys were they were from across the bridge, other side of the bridge.
Okay.
And things get a little funny once you cross the Delaware.
Sure. Especially you get into like those Delco people saying words that you've never heard of before.
They were out Montco.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Out Montgomery County.
Yeah.
That's like Delaware County with a little money.
Right.
Like
That's exactly what it is. It's
classy Delco.
It's Delco with a winning lottery ticket.
I can't gleat. I can't gleat when I'm laying on my back and I swallow. It happens. Okay, I can gleat when I'm laying. So everybody has some weird situation they got to be in. Like, no, I can't gleat. But if I tie my left shoe and leave my right one in the closet,
depending on the time of day and where the sun is in the sky,
and then rub an orange on the back of my neck, then I could gleat. So, yeah, this is I just found it interesting that they brought it up because I didn't know that this was a phenomenon that traveled through social circles.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, definitely 5th, 6th grade. It became in vogue to be able to do it.
Yeah, it was hot. It was popping in the streets to be able to gleat. Apparently, there's a tall tale. There's a tale that goes a little something like this. In Wissahickon High School,
okay,
it was said to be that there was a kid who can gleat in a nonstop stream, like just squirter, a squirter. He was a gleat squirter.
What do you mean by nonstop though?
So,
like you have to.
All right, so every time I've ever seen a gleat,
right?
And yes, if you're new to the podcast, we are really talking
it's
about
this. Talk, folks. That's
this
what you
is really
asked for.
some of the shit that we talk about, right? Guys talking.
That's right.
You should have seen this shit. I gotta send it to you. It was a fucking podcast, Instagram, John, where it's like, "Hey, this is guys talking." I gotta say, I can't get into it. I'll send it to you.
Let's not do other people's bits on our show.
Yeah, it was funny though. It was good. Hopefully, we can have as much success as the Guys Talking podcast has.
Fingers crossed.
So I've always seen a gleat as kind of a quick spray, right? Like you get
just one stream,
one quick
one
stream
shot.
of gleat.
Yeah, one trigger pull of a water gun, and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in Wissahickon High School back in the 80s, there was said to be a gentleman who could just keep the stream going almost infinitely.
Okay. That seems weirdly impossible, but also just because from what I know of it, you have to exert some pressure with your tongue.
Okay.
And so the idea that he could continue to exert that pressure infinitely seems like
I get it. I do
no,
it.
and don't. I have my glasses on, but let's not tempt fate.
You look a little downsy when you're trying to gleat.
Yeah. You definitely do.
Without a
your
doubt.
tongue is up in the roof of your mouth and you're just trying to do shit. Yeah.
It's like having a you got to get a spoon. Somebody put a spoon on his tongue. He's having a seizure.
Right.
You got to hold his tongue. You got to hold his tongue down with a spoon.
Epilepsy.
Yeah. Put him on his side and put a spoon in his mouth. I was on a job site in Willenboro this week.
Okay.
For the New York boys.
Okay.
And if the New York boys are listening on the payback, that's Brian Rocks and Ice Rocks. What's up, fellas? Thank you for listening to the playback. Who also, they had some good feedback for us about the hour-long podcast.
Yeah.
But I was on the job site doing some stuff. They bring me on for a day pay when they need my help or when I have an opening in my schedule. I get over there. I give them a hand. There was a major plumbing situation in that backyard.
Okay.
To the point that they had not the Rocks brothers.
Right. The homeowner.
I'm going to tell them that they should name their company the Rocks Brothers.
Right.
Yeah, without a doubt. Not the Rocks brothers. No, not the homeowner. Brian Rocks owns the house right now.
Oh, okay.
They're the investors.
They're working on
Ice Rocks and
flipping it out.
Brian's Rocks are working on flipping it.
I gotcha.
So, last time I was there, maybe 2 months ago or something like that, I flushed the toilet, and it came out through the first floor toilet hole.
That's probably not good.
Yeah. So I sent them Ricky, my plumber. Big shout out to Ricky, who sometimes listens. If you're listening on the playback, Ricky, thank you, and I hope you're having a good day at work today. So I sent Ricky over there. He gets in there, starts getting dirty, realizes that the problem is between the back of the house and where it hits the sewer, because their sewer pipes their drain runs to the sewer behind everybody's house. Like, it's a block, back-to-back houses, middle of those 2 yards, sewer pipe. Levittown. Very Levitt.
Well,
This is in Willingboro, built by Levitt,
Right.
and Levitt did things really funny style.
yeah.
So it's clogged up in there because they used a 3-inch drain instead of a 4-inch drain, whatever. You know what I mean?
I used to live across the street, and I had all these issues you're describing, had all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Silly shit.
Yeah.
So I'm there the other day, and they got a backhoe, like a little baby excavator back there, digging up a fucking 8-foot deep, 6-foot wide trench
Okay.
from the house to the fence across the whole yard. Tearing up the yard because they got to replace the whole exit drain pipe.
Were those pipes, like on my side of the street, were those pipes like basically made out of paper mache?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they call it Orangeburg or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar that it was called something else. I always thought that kind of pipe was what lead pipes were, but that's not. It's Orangeburg. It's like it's whack.
Yes.
Anyway, that means that there's no toilets that are working.
Oh, yeah, right.
So
The plumbing's up, yeah.
I didn't get through 20 years of the trade industry without learning a thing or two.
Sure.
One of those things I learned is the pro-level job site fecal evacuation method.
Okay.
All right, there's a lot of guys, rookies, I'll tell you, rookies, maybe even some journeymen, who their fecal evacuation tactics could use some help. And that's what I'm here for.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here to spread knowledge.
Little poop talk.
I don't know if you know, but 7-1 correlates with the supreme mathematics numbers for God knowledge.
Right. That's why you did it.
The God is about to drop some knowledge.
And a deuce.
I'm about to drop a knowledge on dropping a deuce. Number 2 is understanding. Knowledge, wisdom, understand. Number 2 is wisdom. The 7 is going to drop some 1
About the 2.
on wisdom.
Right.
So a lot of guys go in a bucket, right?
Okay. I've heard this.
Sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah, of course.
Got no choice.
Yeah, I think when you're at the point where you're pooping in a bucket on a job site, it's not for show. It's not just
No.
my regular bowel movement at 10 a.m. I'm going to go do
It's
it
an
in
emergency.
a Home Depot bucket. Right.
But it's terrible, dude, because
sure.
there's no comfort in pooping on a bucket. Right? You don't get to,
Can't put your back anywhere.
it's too low.
You're hovering.
Yeah, it's maybe not a hover, but also you're like sitting on the edge of a bucket, dude. You know what I mean? You're trying to tuck
it's terrible.
trying to tuck your little weenie down into the bucket too. It fucking doesn't work out. You got to put some guys might do it raw dog into the bucket.
You gotta get like a funnel and get everything aimed properly.
A lot of guys put a fucking trash bag in the bucket and then they can get rid of it. Yeah.
That makes sense. That's smart. That's like a second level thinking.
Yeah. But also, then sometimes you gotta put the toilet paper in there and the bucket kind of jams up. So now you got toilet paper all the way up to your leg.
Right.
In the bucket. It's not the ideal method.
No, it's definitely only like emergency only situation.
But a lot of houses or places that you are will have a disconnected toilet somewhere.
Right. At the level that you're working on it, that's not uncommon.
Yeah. Even if it's not in the bathroom, maybe it's in the fucking garage in a box. And I implore that you take that thing out of the box so you can get your pro-level job site fecal evacuation method down properly.
Right.
What you do is lift up the toilet seat, right?
Okay.
Now you take your trash bag and push
And
it
put it-
into the bowl
Okay.
and let it drape over the sides of the toilet seat. Drop the toilet seat back
To
down
like
on
pin
it.
it down.
Now you're
Standard operating procedure at that point.
SOP. You're right back to SOP. Only
Nice.
thing you don't got is a flush.
But you knew that going into it, so that's fine.
Yeah. So you kind of don't necessarily want to do it where other guys are going to have to come through because that smell seems to hang out.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
But you got now you have cleaner, easier. You're doing it the way your muscle
More
memory,
comfortable.
more comfortable because your muscle memory is there.
Yeah.
And I guess in most cases you're kind of out of the elements too. So like if it's cold or whatever, you don't have to worry about it because you're in a bathroom again.
Mm-hmm.
So this is solid. This is solid work. I don't have any savvy advice like that, but I can tell you.
Well, you don't wind up on job sites too often.
When I was younger, like right around when I was first diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, there was a panic because now the doctor says no sweets.
And yes, we are a handicap-friendly podcast,
of
obviously, as you say.
Of course. So the panic is, what do I replace my sweets with? Because I know that type 2 diabetes is part genetic, but also probably the pound of
Weren't
Jolly
eating so
Ranchers I was
great.
eating every day was contributing.
Yeah.
So sugar-free at that point in time, sugar-free candy was a boom. Like there was sugar-free in 7-Eleven, every candy bar had a sugar-free counterpart.
Yeah.
What I didn't know at the time was that sugar-free foods really loosen you up quite a bit.
Okay.
So I go out on a fishing expedition a day after eating like way too much sugar-free candy. I'm with my uncle. I got to go to the bathroom. Let's pull over, pull the boat over. I'll hop off. I'll go in the woods, take the paper towel with me, blah, blah, blah. I go, this is my first experience really with this sort of situation. And I pull my pants and my underwear down and I squat by a tree.
Yeah.
And I go. And
How old are you at this time?
probably 16, 17. No,
Okay.
no, older, like 23, 24-ish.
And you never shit in the woods.
No.
A bear like you is never shit in the woods, huh?
No, I've always
Okay.
found, a more discreet place to do it. So anyway, so what I learned that day is that in these situations, you need to take your pants completely
all the way off. Yeah.
You can't just
Otherwise,
drop them down.
you poop into your pants.
You certainly do. And when it's explosive like that, you ruin the rest of the day.
Ooh.
So if you're in the woods shitting, take your pants off all the way, hang them on a branch or something.
This actually reminds me of a great story time that I was trying to tell a few weeks back and we never got to.
Okay.
So back in, let's call it 2011-ish,
Okay.
which makes me 25 years old. And at the time, I lived in Gloucester City.
Okay.
At the time, I also was not drug-free. As a matter of fact, I was pro-drug.
Whatever the opposite of drug-free is.
Yeah, I was drug cost.
Right.
Okay, I was drug expensive at
You
the
were
time.
ensconced in drugs.
Yes. Daily drug use,
Right.
heavy drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and I lived in Gloucester City. The Jedi gives you dropped a little bit of 7 on a little bit of 1 on you.
Yeah.
Well, 1 knowledge.
He's not wrong. He's not
Sometimes
wrong.
they use fiber to sweeten things that will make you poop. Yes,
Yeah.
fiber will help
That
out your bowels.
And whatever the fuck xylitol is completely fucking evil when it comes to your intestines.
I love xylitol. Put it on my cereal. It's very good with shredded wheat.
Just don't overdo it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, just a little bit at a time. So at this time, I am drug costly, and I was using on a daily basis to the point where I had a habit with the H.
Okay.
Okay, me and H were very acquainted.
Okay. Capital H in your
Yeah.
at your point.
Now I was also like, I would. Here's what would happen is that I would get high for a couple of days, maybe a week, 2 weeks, and then I'd be like, I'm fucking done with this. I'm just going to sit on the couch and stay home and fucking be sick and withdraw
And work it
until
out.
I'm done with it, and then I can fucking restart life here. And then I would get like 2 or 3 days in, and I'd give up. right? So
you were in the cycle, as they say.
I was stuck, dude.
Yeah.
I was fucking spinning circles. And so I'm in Gloucester City, and I had a running partner at the time by the name of Goose. Me
Okay.
and Goose go way back to when we were children, right? Probably like 7th, 8th grade, 6th grade, whatever it was. The Goose we were tight for a long time. And I bumped into him somewhere, and we start getting high again together. Now, the Goose and me both were not really working, so one day he was broke, and one day I was broke, and I would help him out, he would help me out. So I'm in one of these stretches where I'm about 3 days into quitting drugs.
Okay.
I'm on the couch shivering, I'm sick, I'm like barely able to keep any food down, I'm just taking hot showers all day, I'm trying to smoke herb to like calm it down.
Right.
But full-blown opiate withdrawal. And I'm like, fuck, like, I was ready to give up. I'm like, if I just fucking had $10, like, I would just walk up to the hood right now. Because,
right now.
Yeah, because Gloucester City is right next to Camden. I could just walk to go get whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
It would have been a rough walk being that sick.
Right.
But knowing that walk
You could do it.
was going to clean me up, I'll do it. So my girlfriend at the time is at work in the city, which I'm not really sure that she was actually working because she was a dirty scumbag of a bitch.
Okay.
And did some foul shit.
Sure, that's why she's your ex-girlfriend now.
So God really knows what she was doing, but the ruse was that she was at work.
In when you say in the city, you mean Philly or
Philadelphia.
you mean Camden?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
So I'm laying on the couch, sick as a dog, and just dreaming that somehow,
drugs are going to fall out of the sky.
Exactly, right? And it's a hot summer day, midday or so, and I hear a banging at the screen door. And my neighbor, his name was Chef. Chef was an old god body from Jersey City, and he somehow made his way down to
the waterfront.
To Gloucester City, right? But I was cool with Chef. However, he was a little bit bummy, right? He would knock on my door looking for a cigarette all the time. Now, I would always give him one, but also, like, Chef, just leave me alone right now, I'm thinking, right? Like, not right now, dude. I don't even know if I had a cigarette. And so I don't say anything, but the door is open, and I'm, like, on the couch about 10 feet away from the door, but the couch is backed up to the door, so Chef can't see me. So I'm just being quiet.
Okay.
And then another knock, and I hear, "Yo, Cove," and it's not Chef.
Okay.
It's Goose.
Right.
I pop right up so quick, right? I'm like, fuck. I'm like, you saved the day. He was like, come on, let's go. Because Goose is not showing up except for one reason.
Right. We're going to get high.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. You're here. Let's fucking go. And threw away the 3 days that I had spent being sick. I just didn't care anymore because now the option's on the table.
It was just practice at that point.
Yeah. So Goose doesn't have a car of his own. I don't have a car of my own.
How'd he get there?
Listen.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
He used to usually steal his girlfriend's car,
Okay.
which is the same thing that I would do when I needed to, but she was doing whatever.
Working in the city.
Yeah, working in the city.
Right.
So I'm like, how the fuck did you get here? He was like, I got my dad's work truck. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude, let's fucking go. I walk out to the back of my apartment, and there's an 18-foot box truck parked out back that has his dad's business blazed across the side of it, right? But it don't matter to me.
Right, it's not your dad's business.
There's no, I'm not getting tied to anything. I'm not getting in any trouble. I'm like, all right, come on, let's fucking roll, dude.
Right.
Now, we couldn't get there quick enough. The thing is when you know that you're on your way, then you start getting a little bit worse off, right?
Okay.
Like now you got the bubble guts even worse, bro. You start sweating a little bit more, right? Like there's a little bit of adrenaline pumping through you that almost like intensifies the withdrawal effects.
So this is like when you're last minute have to go to the bathroom and you're holding, and as soon as you get into the bathroom, everything steps up a notch before you get to where you need to be.
As you're dropping your drawers, it starts shooting out kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, now I'm sitting shotgun in this fucking 18-inch cabinetry box truck. 18-foot cabinetry box truck.
With a phone number and a logo on it.
With my fucking face dripping sweat. My fucking stomach's bubbling. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm clenching. right? I'm clenching. I'm sitting like this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, Goose, hurry up. And he drops a little bomb on me. He was like, I can't go into North Camden.
Right.
Right? He's like, I'm just going to drive around downtown. Now, for those of you who know or don't know, downtown is kind of Camden's central part of the city, and then a few blocks away is North Camden, where all the open-air drug market is.
Right.
He's like, I'm going to drop you off at the edge of North Camden. I'm going to go drive around downtown.
Okay.
I have no choice. I just got to accept this, right?
At least he's saving you half a walk.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, so I got to walk maybe 5 blocks or so to get the shit, but then I got to walk 5 blocks, and then I got to walk back to his truck before I can do it. At the time, I'm shooting drugs, right?
Right.
So it's not even like I could just duck in an alley real quick and sniff a little something. I have to, like, sit down, take my time, fix up a fucking needle. I can't believe that I used to put needles in my arm, but it's fucking true. I did it. So it was like a process. He didn't want to go. Jedi says, why couldn't he go into North Camden? Because he had his dad's
The box truck had a logo and a phone number on it.
with his dad's business logo over it, and he was just like, he was a little bit shook to just be like in the heart of the hood anyway. He usually dropped me off close to the block, and he would drive around where it was safer. He didn't like the heat. I didn't care. I was used to it. So he drops me off, right? I'm getting the bubble guts now thinking about this story.
Flashbacks.
Yeah. So he drops me off right there on like the bottom of North Camden by Northgate, and I start walking. I got about 5 blocks to walk, right?
All right.
August day, thick air, bro. I'm crunching glass under my feet, like the shattered glass of the North Camden alleyways, right?
Broken glass everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. That's a real thing. And I'm hurting, my muscles hurt, but I'm on a mission, so I'm ignoring it, right? I got my butthole clenched tight. I'm wiping sweat and flicking it the old, you know what I mean? My mouth tastes gross. I'm just in a shit fucking position in life. But I got a solution for this shit position.
Right. It's at the end of this 5 blocks.
Just a few blocks away.
Right.
So I'm trekking and hoping nobody gives me no shit. I'm hoping no cops pull over and fuck this up. I just got to get the shit and get the fuck out of there. And, like, all my problems will then melt away, right? So I woke up to, I believe I went to 9th and Vine.
Okay.
Which was like a popular block at the time. They knew me, right? So I'm like, yo, let me get whatever I got. I think maybe 3 or 4 bags, right? Like 2 for him, 2 for me, something like that. I grab them, put them in my pocket, and now even more so because I have them. So it kicks up
now
more.
You're getting even shakier.
The guts are, guts are bubbling even more. The sweat's dripping even more. My mouth tastes fucking drier and grosser, and my fucking anxiety's higher. And I'm like, I gotta go. All right, good luck. I'm out. So now I'm crunching that glass again, right? And I'm fucking walking over broken bottles, and I'm dipping through fucking alleys because I never I never go in and come out the same way. I gotta go in one way and come out the other, right?
In case the feds are following you.
And I can't fucking deal with it anymore, right?
Okay.
I'm like, fuck it. He can wait. I'm going to dip into an abandoned building and just do my shit real quick,
Get yourself squared away.
Yeah. So I knew where there was an abandoned building, maybe about 4 out of those 5 blocks away, right? So instead of going the 5 blocks, I stop a block short at this abandoned building that I've been climbed into the back of before. So I climb up in there, and I fucking got everything I need. I fucking put it down on the edge, and I'm squeezing my cheek so hard, dude. I got a shit so bad, it's unreal. But I know if I could just do this shot, that disappears, and I won't have to shit for the next day and a half, right? It's going to clog me right up.
Opiates do tend to do that, yeah.
So I'm like shaking and squeezing my butt and trying to fucking put this thing together so I could get right. And as I fucking pull, I'm sorry to be graphic here.
Oh
right?
no,
but,
I think we're good.
Yeah.
This is the After Hours podcast.
Yeah. As I'm pulling it into the needle, I'm like, fucking there, but it's getting worse. And I fucking pick up the needle, it's full, and I'm ready to put it into my arm and fucking do it. And I had no more clench. And an explosion of diarrhea just came out inside of my pants, inside of my basketball shorts. There was an explosion like a fucking underwater volcano all over me, bro.
building new
I'm
islands.
looking at it fucking rolling down my calf, and it stinks because it's fucking withdrawal feces, and it just fucking... I tried to get my pants down quick enough, but I didn't, right? So then I did wind up getting them down, and I get the rest out, shot into a corner.
Good.
I don't know who Janae Miller is, but you're walking into... Yeah,
God bless.
Yeah, you're coming into something here, and you might not be happy with it. And it just explodes into the fucking corner behind me, right? But all over my fucking underwear. It's a mess, dude, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh. And like the fucking true scumbag junkie I was, instead of cleaning myself up, I do the fucking
you got something
shot.
to do.
I'm like, I just got to do it.
I maybe you said it and I missed a step, but did you bring your works with you? Like you were ready to
My
go?
man, I never left home without a set of works. All right, I was always prepared to find a bag of smack on the floor or some silly shit like that.
Where were you that bindles were just lying around everywhere?
Camden and Gloucester City.
True enough.
It's happened. It doesn't happen often.
Right.
But you never know when it's going to be your fucking lucky day.
Like finding a $10 chip in the casino floor.
Yeah. So instead of fucking cleaning myself up like a normal human, I was at such a fucking point of degradation and like such a loser at that time.
You're past that.
I was like, fuck it, I just got to do the fucking bag now, and then I'll worry about cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Which I do. So I do it. The sickness disappears, right? Now I'm straight.
Right.
And now I'm feeling better looking at myself covered in fucking shit from the waist down, dripping down my fucking calves.
It's like registering now how disgusting it is.
Splattered on the fucking wall behind me, and I'm just like, oh, this is fucking disgusting. And I have nothing to clean up. Like, what am I going to fucking clean myself up with?
Right. And you got to get back into Goose's truck at some point.
Yeah. So I take off the fucking basketball shorts, but somehow they made it out mostly unscathed.
Okay,
right?
the underwear took most of the brunt.
Underwear took most of the hit,
All
right?
right.
So I fucking tossed that. I got to take my socks off and fucking clean myself up. And then I fucking take my shirt off to fucking clean the rest of myself up.
Yeah.
And luckily we're in a fucking shit-strewn abandoned house, so I could just, whatever, just flick it.
Right.
So,
and nobody's really going to question you walking around bare-chested in Camden in the summer.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's like a regular white junkie uniform.
Yeah,
in
that's
North Camden.
solid. Yeah. That's standard.
So I fucking get myself cleaned up the best I can with what I got going on. And like a fucking scumbag, I'm walking out of the back of this abandoned house with fucking blood still dripping down my arm and a little fucking shit on my shoe. And as I'm coming out, there's another junkster walking into the back of the house. And I'm like, what's up? He was like, oh, no, what's happening? I'm like, listen, you probably don't want to go into that part of the house, dude. He was like, what happened? I'm like, and no fucking couth, no shame or nothing.
No.
I'm like, I fucking shit myself, dude.
Well, I was getting high.
No big deal.
You know how that goes.
regular stuff.
You know, sometimes when you're shooting up, you shit yourself. Yeah, that was me today. So I guess I'm good for a few days.
That was my day. You know, this was my day today. So I fucking leave and I go fucking meet Goose. And he's like, what? What the fuck? Where's your shirt?
Right.
And you're fucking, like, what's going on,
right.
dude? I'm like, oh, man.
Boy, do I have a story
I got something to tell you, bro. And he's fucking dying laughing at this point.
Of course.
You know, thinks it's hilarious. But that's like, I look at that, and I was so subhuman at the time. Like, it was such a fucking, like, my whole as you see, by example of that story, my whole existence was fucking based around trying to get this fucking substance inside of my bloodstream.
Right.
I had no, like, the freshest kid out here didn't fucking exist.
No.
I tried
There's
to
no
fake
way.
I tried to fake the funk sometimes as if I was still fresh.
You couldn't even been in the middle of the list at that point.
No. So that was that was a thing that really happened.
It really disturbs me sometimes when you tell your stories, and I have like similar story adjacent, but without the drug part. And I'm really questioning everything I've ever done in my life.
I had an excuse. I had an excuse for
You
why
had
I was
you
such
had
a
at least
savage.
it's expected that he may have shit his
Yeah.
pants. I don't have that expectation, and yet I've still shit my pants
Yeah,
in a Royal
yeah.
Farms.
Dustin Piston, bro, how many times have you wiped your ass with your socks? More than a couple. I'm sure there's been a few other ones, you know? Here's the thing. I'm an alley cat. I've always been an alley cat. And when you're an alley cat, you got to do alley cat things when
Right.
you find yourself in the street with no toilet, you know?
You adapt and you move on.
That's it. You adjust, you adapt. As we're in the kind of lane of addiction, right?
Sure, and pooping.
Well, the pooping we can let go.
Okay.
But I was in the liquor store today
Okay.
as a regular citizen that I am, you
Yeah.
know, buying a couple of beers and a bottle for me and my buddy
Some
who are going to
kickback for
sit
the
down.
weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to sit down and do a podcast and we have a couple of drinks. I didn't I didn't have to scrounge money to get it.
Right.
You know, I wasn't. It didn't break my fucking bank account. Like it was just I got the couple of dollars to fucking spend on it.
Right.
Me and my buddy like having a drink while we do our little show here.
That sounds great.
At the adjacent counter, a guy was buying a Natty Daddy. Are you familiar with the Natty Daddies?
Well, I know Natty, but
really
what's
gotta pee, man.
what's the Natty Daddy?
The Natty Daddy is a $1.25 can.
It was like a tall boy?
Like a tall boy, 24
Okay.
ounce, $1.25 can of Natty Ice.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. It's the bottom of the barrel as far as beer is concerned.
Pretty much. I guess only malt liquor is underneath of that.
Yeah. He's buying a Natty Daddy and then also asks for airplane bottles of rum chata.
Oh, look at that. You guys could be bonding.
Which, you know, I felt happy that he was getting
Yeah.
rum chata because I knew he was going to have a wonderful flavor explosion inside of his lips.
Classing the joint up after he drinks down the Natty.
Yeah. But also, my heart broke a little bit, right? My heart goes out to see these guys who are scrounging to buy airplane bottles of liquor. Like, your existence and your day counts on having this drink so much that you're paying for it in the change that you
coins.
found somewhere,
Yeah.
or you know
somebody,
that
somebody tossed you.
you're buying the cheapest beer because you just need the cheapest, strongest thing you can get in order to, like, whether it's to ward off the shakes or to just start drinking to get away from whatever you're trying to get away from, or
Right.
you know, to help with maybe whatever mental situation you have going on. And I see that, and I feel like I feel bad, and I feel empathetic, and I feel sorry.
You've been there.
Yeah, I feel sorry to see that those guys do that, you know?
Right.
And there's nothing that I can do for them in that moment. You know what I mean? You can't pull a guy to the side at the liquor store and say, like, hey, I see you paying with fucking change. Like, you want to hear about a new way of life?
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, the most you can do there is throw them an I got you and, put it on my bill and I got you.
yeah, which I also fall into that, and I haven't for a while, but I sometimes fall into that with, like, youngsters who are begging on the side of the road. Like,
Right.
oh, hey, what are you into? You know, and if they're honest, they say, like, oh, I fucking smoke rocks, whatever. All right, well, here's $5 so you can go get a nickel
Go
bag.
get a rock.
Like, I get it, you know what I mean? I feel it, but it hits me a certain way to see guys actively going through that struggle, because I've been so far removed from it now for years upon years that I don't necessarily regularly or on a daily basis connect with, like, what those feelings are of, like, feeling hopeless and feeling like this is the answer to what's going on with you, you know?
I think there's some things you want to revisit mentally, and then there's other things that you want to just be happy that you don't have to revisit. Like, you should just be almost excited that, like, those thoughts aren't even part of your life anymore, so you don't have to think back to what that felt like. You can just say, I don't have to feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, no, I had this conversation, me and E were talking about it. I had this conversation with him a few days ago that, like, the idea of doing hard drugs is so far removed from my brain that it rarely ever pops into my head.
Right.
And if it does pop into my head, it's very easy to kind of manipulate
along.
and get it the fuck out of my head because it's so blatant at this point that's it's just a fucking trap. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's just a fucking trap to ruin your life. And I'm not a big like Jesus and the devil guy.
No.
But the devil or Satan or whatever that evil force is very easy. It's a very easy explanation for the culture and the whole concept of heavy drugs and drug addiction because it really is like there's nothing good that comes out of it.
No, there doesn't seem to be any like mid-level that you can just maintain and be functional. There's always a cliff that you fall off of at some point, and then once you're off that cliff, it's super difficult to come back up.
But even mid-level and functional, which I have been at points, there's still such a it's like putting a fucking steel wall in the middle of your head, and you know that there's another part of your brain to get to. Like if I was functioning and I'm going to work every day and I'm able to get up and get to North Philly by fucking 5 a.m. and then get to the job site by 6:30 and I got the money and it's all budgeted right and I don't worry about like being able to have enough and get through the day, right? Even if that's all taken care of and I'm functioning, there comes this fucking steel wall in your head where like your whole thought pattern and brain is boxed into that one corner of
that one cycle.
That one thing, like that cycle of like, all right, I got to make sure that I have enough for tomorrow. I got to make sure I get up on time so I can get and go cop and then get to work. And then I got to make sure I go to work so that I can cop tomorrow. And
your whole function is just to feed the addiction.
Yeah, and you know that there's another part of your brain,
but you can't.
But you just can't fucking access it, and you can't gain it, and you just can't open it up to all the other things that are there. And now there's like at this point there's fucking endless sections of my brain and endless things to fucking get involved in and endless things to try.
And it's like exhausting, right?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things and I would love to be a guy who could just sit and chill and say like, nah, I'm not going to do anything today. But we know that's not how I'm built.
No. Well, so do you think, for argument's sake, the podcast takes off and you get to the point where it's earning enough that you don't even have to consider a job beyond that? Would you then be more would it be more likely that you'd be a sit-around guy, or would you still be looking for things to push forward even that it's not necessary?
Let's say we get that $100 million Joe Rogan deal.
Okay, sure. That's way past where I'm thinking, but absolutely.
But for the sake of the argument, it makes it easy.
So now we're caked up for our kids' lives.
Louis G, I got you, buddy. I appreciate that you guys are fascinated by it. So we got all types of bread, right? Me and you are both set.
We're good.
Fucking Allison and Sadie are set.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like their grandkids are set at that point.
Yeah, we're solid.
Yeah.
I think that I'm still not going to be doing too much sitting around.
Okay. Maybe
a little bit. I think I will always have in my head that this could go wrong.
Okay.
Right? And always have in my head that I gotta keep working to make my cushion as big as possible.
So what are you gonna in this scenario? What are you gonna like? You're not gonna work construction.
No, fuck no.
And you're not gonna do moving,
bro. Gavone says that shit to me all the time. He's like, he was like, nah, yeah, but if the podcast takes off, why would you give up on construction? Because I fucking hate construction, dickhead.
The entire reason you're doing the podcast.
I want no parts of fucking construction.
You don't want to be 50 years old and rich and on your knees cutting wood?
Janae Miller. Can you press C more and see what that says?
I remember being at a show, probably getting close to the end of your addiction of a good few years ago, and you and your girl were fighting, and you walked off in Trenton, and I'm very happy to see where you're at today. Keep going forward.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I would just disappear. I would be at shows and just disappear.
There's nothing about that story that sounds made up.
Nope, that's absolutely true. I would just disappear from shows. I'd be hanging out, and then people, I'm sure they were like, "Where'd Cove go?" And then they would probably all look at each other like, "Man, you fucking know."
We'll find out in a couple days.
You know how fucking Cove is.
Did everybody check every basement in New Jersey?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that given the situation, no, I'm not doing construction.
No.
Maybe I get myself into a little bit of real estate.
Okay.
In order to like keep things flowing. But I think that I would also, I think at that point I will also branch out into like other entertainment things.
Okay.
Right? Like if the podcast is
DJ?
No. No. If the podcast is earning,
okay,
and I don't have to work,
right,
I'm going to finally get the book written.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm going to, if I'm making money, I'm going to hire a cameraman, and we're going to wind up doing fucking little comedy skits to put on YouTube.
You wind up like the Island Boys.
Straight up like the Island Boys, bro. We're going to be
rapping.
hanging out in a fucking pool, getting tatted up, fucking growing my dreads out.
Rapping, but also not rapping at all.
Yeah. Just being melodic and cool.
In the Florida sun.
And I'll be working out. I'll be doing 2-a-days.
Oh, okay. You build your own gym in the house. You probably could do 3-a-days because you're right there.
I'll have the illest fucking home gym.
Yeah.
It'll be the freshest home gym you ever seen.
It's like on the Tuesday where we're not doing a show at all. It's just gonna be wake up, protein workout, go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then by like the 3rd, 4th month of this, you're just gonna be Mr. Universe.
Maybe that's what I'm chasing. I'll find a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll always find a thing to fucking pull. I'll be riding my fucking bike. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't get with, I feel guilty sitting around. And I think it probably stems back to, at least in some part, back to spending years just sitting around in the fucking joint doing nothing. Right? Because I couldn't. So, like, I'm, like, sitting in a joint, like, man, I wish I could be doing anything else. And fill in the blank. I would fucking imagine being in the Italian countryside fucking picking grapes and making wine.
Right. So I have a person in my life who's, like, they just vibrate. Like, they have to constantly be in motion. And it feels like because they feel as though if they stopped, then they'd have to think about the shitty things in their life. Not that the whole life is shitty, but like the shitty particulars of their life, and that would break them down.
Yeah.
So they just constantly keep moving, just almost to forget that they exist.
Yeah.
Is that you? Or is your constant moving like you just feel like you missed a part of your life and you're just constantly trying to make up for it and better and make it so that segment of your life is no longer the defining piece of your life?
I think I got the DNA of a hustler.
Okay.
You know, and it's just, I'm just making the next thing. I like making
just
things
the next
happen.
Hustle.
Yeah. What's the next thing to make it happen? Whether it's something that pays off monetarily or something that pays off in another way.
So would you stay in construction as like the
no.
No, I mean like as like run the business and then
Nope.
have your foreman? No.
Nope.
Okay.
No. I want nothing to do with construction. Okay. It fucking disgusts me.
Okay.
But it's what else do I got going on right now? Yeah. I know how to make money doing construction, so that's what I do. So So I embrace it and I do it the best I can while I'm here with it, and when something else
exit.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the next door to open.
Right.
I also think that there's like a piece of me that and I'm not sure like how it all links up. But when I sit down for too long, then I get sucked into like a depressive cycle. Like
Start thinking about shit.
I've had stretches where like I didn't have work going on for 2 or 3 weeks. And then instead of like keeping moving and trying to figure out the next movement, I wind up getting fucking stuck and not having work for now 3 or 4 more weeks because I just felt bad about myself and oh, poor me, why the fuck isn't it going my way?
Right. So that's also probably a combination of things, though. It's not just the sitting still. It's the sitting still and not making the money, and you need to make the bills. And, like, it's a whole slope. Like, if you had, this $100 million in your bank account, maybe sitting still for a little bit wouldn't give you this anxiety because you would know we're covered either way, so I can take a week and just sit here and stare at the wall. Maybe it's not going to make a difference.
I might be taking a lot more vacations if I was making enough bread to not work.
Right.
I'd be out
of the country quarterly.
Yeah, at least. Maybe once a month I'd be on at least a long weekend.
Right.
Maybe I'd fuck around and we'd record 6 episodes at the beginning of the month, and then I got an RV and I just drive around North America.
Maybe we just start recording from the Cayman Islands.
I'm not mad at it.
We can record from wherever you want.
I like where your head's at. Even though you're an industry plant.
I might be.
Yeah, you are.
I might be.
I find this to be the most amusing thing, right? I'm watching, I stumble across an old Jack Harlow video of when he was in high school.
Okay.
And he's stone cold nerd, glasses on, mop top hair, but you could see he has a little bit of skill.
A little, oh, right, okay.
Right? Like, he's not great.
Yeah.
He's not the Jack Harlow that he is today.
But there's something there.
But he's got something going on. Probably confidence.
Right.
Right? And I'm browsing through the comments, and a whole bunch of people are making reference to Jack Harlow being an industry plant, which I can't even understand what an industry plant is, right? It doesn't make sense to me. Like the industry, like a record company,
right,
planted this guy here to make money and make music for you. Yeah, no shit.
No.
All of these motherfuckers are planted here by the industry to make music for you to entertain you.
Well, yes and no. The idea of the industry plant is so normally the process, and I don't know how it is now because it's all so different, but normally the process used to be, you go, you make your demo tape, you submit it to the record label decides if they like you, and then we start doing contracts and whatnot.
Yeah.
The industry plant, the accusation of being an industry plant is that the industry went out and looked at you and said, you're not the best at this, but you're the person that we can push to the top. So come here, we'll give you the producers, we'll write the rhymes, we'll film the videos, and you just pretend like you came out of nowhere, and we will put all of our emphasis behind this and make you a star because we think we can, versus you're really talented, let's get you out there and see what happens.
Yeah, that doesn't sound that far off from reality.
It's not that far off, except for the part where the industry plant generally, again, as the accusation goes, they're not talented. They just have a good enough face that other people can make them successful.
Yeah.
So most of these girl singers these days,
industry
plants, not just girl singers, but most of these good-looking singers these days.
Who are we talking? Who do you know who's an industry plant?
What
do you know about these industry plants? Is it because you are an industry plant?
Obviously, with all the money that I have, can you not tell? But a lot, they're all getting their songs produced by the same 3 people, so it can create the same sound. So then it's just a matter of who's the prettiest. Other people are writing the lyrics for them, and then they're just out there to dance and perform and shake their asses, guys and girls. So the accusation of the industry plan is basically saying to a person, you're not any good, and the only reason you're here is because somebody is paying for you to be here.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I get a kick out of it as a diss, just all in all, oh, this guy's a fucking industry plant.
Right.
Is that, do you think, being an industry plant or not, right, is Jack Harlow's feelings hurt because YouTube is telling him he's an industry plant? No.
I can't speak for Jack Harlow.
I think it's just fucking hilarious. I think you don't see the humor in it?
Well, I think there's some people who would have the, what the fuck? What's the name of the Jim Carrey movie where he's living in the dome? No. Where he's living in the dome and it's...
Come on, bro. You're bringing up movies with me?
Yeah, but this was a big one.
The Truman Show.
Yes, The Truman Show. Thank you. So this could be like a Truman Show thing where that person maybe thinks that they were good enough and they caught on and it's their talent that's got them skyrocketing. And then somebody else saying, no, it's not your talent. It's daddy's money that's got you where you are.
Yeah.
That could be insulting.
Let me just ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you see the humor in that being a diss?
Oh, I see the humor in being a diss that's levied against everybody who's more successful than you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think there are industry plants. I think the entire 90s boy band thing was 3 guys in Orlando that just looked for good-looking guys who could dance.
JT is definitely an industry plant.
Yeah.
JTT may also have been an industry plant.
He could have been. We'll have to go back and ask Tim Allen.
He had a hell of a hairdo.
He did.
That's for sure.
He
without
did.
a
He
doubt.
had a nice run on that show.
All right, look, to the live chat. We're winding down. We got about 15 minutes left. So if there's anything that we want to talk about in the chat, feel free to throw it in there, and we'll see what we can build on. You, my friend.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you.
Uh-oh.
You over there.
This always sounds like a setup.
Coach Beard. Listen, for the live chat, you guys haven't seen fucking Payday? He looks like Jose Canseco played the year he played for the fucking Expos.
The extra large head.
Yeah. We got fucking Brose Canseco over there. You, my friend, are a man who loves a pair of Crocs.
I do.
We've had this argument far and wide.
We have.
And discussed the disgust that I have towards Crocs.
We have. And I think you're off base, but you're entitled to your incorrect opinion.
Here's the thing. For you, I love them.
Right.
I love you in a pair of Crocs.
Right.
Nothing turns me on more than you in a pair of Crocs.
They make sense.
And than you in a pair of soft rubber slippers.
That's right.
All right? For me, it doesn't fit my intentions when I get dressed to put on a pair of soft rubber slippers.
Okay.
Excuse me. I got a little bit of rum chata coming up.
It's understandable.
It's coming out everywhere. I got to pee, too.
It's not rum chata. Maybe that's the problem with the new stuff.
It's fucking
a little too
Chila.
acidic.
Oh, Braves are winning 2-0.
Nice.
All right, Brother Ray. We'll see you when we see you, man. Take it easy. Have a good night, buddy. Enjoy
So-
your weekend. Oh, also, Ray, real quick before you leave, you said you're coming down soon. If you were going to be here on a weekend, come check us out. Come sit in with us. Hang out with us, man.
For sure.
But hit me up. You know where to find me. So, you love a good Croc.
I do.
I know. You're going to try and show me all different types of Crocs that aren't soft rubber slippers.
Well,
I'm still not going to get with it. However, here's the thing that I do want to tell you.
okay.
Is that I think I found a suitable replacement for me being the freshest kid out here.
Right.
I found a suitable Croc replacement.
Okay.
And I think that is the new Wallabies. The new
Wallabies.
Clark's Wallabies Cup BT. They kind of have a Croc feel to them, but they also have the Wallaby feel to them.
Okay.
Okay? And they look like they could slip on pretty easy. They look more Wallaby than Croc, but they also look like they might kind of be soft and comfortable. And I think it's the kind of pair of shoes that you might slip on with a pair of sweats to run and grab some fucking milk or some ice cream from Wawa before bedtime.
Okay.
Yeah, that exact pair is the ones that I kind of like. But I also like there's also a pair of dark green ones
Right.
with tan
Yeah.
piping that
Yeah.
are really dope.
There's a bunch of them. I just wanted to see if this is the silhouette you're looking at. Now, to me, the first thing I see is that these are $180.
Yeah.
And I $180 would buy me 8 pairs of Crocs.
That's true.
Last me 2 years.
That's true.
So I wouldn't spend that kind of money on that because that, like, my Crocs are always going to be my knock around. Like, I'm going to cut the grass in my Crocs. I'm going to do shit in my Crocs that would fuck up a shoe.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying $180 for a shoe that's going to be committed to getting fucked up.
Yeah.
And I get your displeasure with Crocs. I understand. But like we said before, there are times where a classy looking Croc is the right footwear out on the beach.
There's no-
out on the beach.
No. I'll wear a pair of Clark's Wallabies to the beach before I wear a pair of Crocs.
So then if you're into that one, what's wrong with the one I showed you that looks more like a polo slip-on shoe and is a Croc?
It doesn't have the same
It's
pizzazz,
just because it says
bro.
Croc.
No, even if you put polo on that one,
Right.
I wouldn't wear it. It's just not my steez. It's,
I don't
it's like a
know.
low. It's like it just doesn't look like a fresh shoe. It doesn't look like a dope shoe. I don't know what to tell you
No,
about it.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to sell you on it.
It just ain't for the kid. You know what I'm saying?
I think the kid needs to branch out, that's all.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. All right, I'm not gonna nah. Not now.
That's more of a slipper.
Yeah, that's a house slipper.
Yeah.
We can't keep
That's
going.
that's
we can't-
house shoes.
Yeah, we can't keep doing this because nobody
No.
can see the shoes but us.
Of course.
I used to rap.
You did. I've
Yeah.
heard about this.
Yeah. I know a lot of people don't know anything about it. I was terrible. I wasn't a very good rapper. I had a very quick career
Well,
because people were shitting on me every time I released something. They treated me. I was like the 2009 version of the Island Boys.
You were an
when I would
industry
release
plant?
something. I was an industry plant. I tried to make it. I couldn't.
I mean, I'm going to disagree with you
I appreciate
on
that.
your talent level, but in my experience, and it's been quite a bit of experience at this point, rappers are much more fragile ego as far as them doing something that they're confident in and someone else saying they don't like it, and that's fucking it. Like, doesn't matter how they felt about it. It matters how somebody else felt about it. And I think it's because I'm a producer and not a rapper. that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to create my art the way I'm going to create my art, and some people are going to like it, and some people are going to say I suck and I shouldn't be doing this, but I've still created my art, and God bless if you don't like it.
Do what you do with it.
Yeah, but I don't think I've really seen any rappers who like get the heavy criticism or get the I put a song out and only 8 people listen to it. I can't rap anymore. That's it. Like that the outside influence really gets to rappers way more than it gets to producers, I think.
Right.
So
are you tying this into me being a rapper?
Well, I'm tying it into the idea that you weren't good at rap, and I disagree because I've heard quite a bit. And if nothing else, of all the people in your circle, you were the best storyteller, and that's that's like my second favorite type of rapper is storyteller, punchline rapper, then storyteller.
Yeah.
And the people who can pull off the story where I can close my eyes and listen to your rap and see the entire thing acted out, they're the best. And you have songs that I can do that.
Yeah.
So the idea that you're not good just because other people said so or other people didn't listen doesn't track for me.
Well, that's mostly because it's not true.
Oh, okay.
One, I was phenomenal at
Oh,
rapping.
okay, there we go.
And 2, nobody ever told me I wasn't good at rapping. I just fucking outgrew.
Was this just a setup to see if I would buy it?
No, this was a setup for something completely different. I just outgrew being the character of me as a rapper.
Okay.
I just can't play that character anymore.
You don't like the old man at the club scenario. That's
exactly.
That's your issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't play the character that I am as a rapper.
I got you.
Now, back when I started listening to rap, maybe when I started freestyling as a teenager, I didn't start writing raps until my 20s.
Okay.
Right? But I would freestyle as a teenager. And back then, we used to say there was a common term for a guy who could rap good, which was shoot the gift.
Right.
Right? And I was known to shoot the gift all over the place.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't just shooting the gift at the range.
Right.
I was out in the streets shooting the gift. Yeah.
You're a street sweeper.
Yeah, spraying blocks up with the gift.
Yeah.
Now, I may not shoot the gift over a beat any longer.
Okay.
However, I think that I still have found a vehicle for me to shoot the gift.
Okay.
Which is this podcast, The Gig, and the Tool Shed on Mondays.
I have this feeling, and it's probably wrong, but for the Monday show, we usually end it with Biz getting down.
Yeah.
And he's pretty fucking good at it.
He shoots the gift.
He definitely does. But I have a feeling that he's going to reach this level, and you're going to feel like, all right, now I got to show him how it really works, and you're going to jump back in on it.
I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think that I can out freestyle Biz.
Okay.
I just don't think I can. I think that at a point I was I was like a 8 on a freestyle scale of 1 to 10, right? I think Biz is without a doubt a 10.
Okay.
And I don't think that, especially coming off of such a fucking long absence,
being rusty,
that I'm just going to be like, you know what? I'm tired of him getting all the shine.
Right.
Let me show him how it's done. And that I'm going to come in and out freestyle Biz. It's just not. It's not even close to reality.
I feel like you're driving around in the truck listening to the end of the show, going, I would have said this instead. I would have said this instead.
No, whatever Biz says when he freestyles, is
That's
exactly what was supposed to be said.
All right.
He is. I think he may be my favorite freestyler.
Oh, and I'm not saying anything.
No, I know you're not
negative about him at all. I'm just saying, like, at some point you're going to get
you
this.
Think,
this
no,
you
yeah,
get
you
that,
think that there's
MC,
a little bit of competition, like the MC competitiveness.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just not there. I'd rather sit and listen to Biz.
Okay.
I would love to be able to freestyle like he does.
Right.
And if anything, I'd be like, damn, how the fuck's he think of that?
Okay.
Right? I wish I could think of that.
Yeah, you always sit here and you're appreciative of his talent.
I think he's
no
fucking
question.
phenomenal.
But I just feel like at some point it's going to be like, I got to get back in on this. He's doing so good, but I feel like I can eventually catch him.
Yeah. Well.
See, now you stepping out of your lane once
Finally.
again. So I might have to smack
I
that
haven't touched the soundboard all fucking night. Yeah. No. Oh, Jesse James. Mad at the world is that word. Biz does a lot of things. My favorite thing that Biz does. Jesse James is in the building. I'm not gonna lie to you, bruh. You're late for work.
Maybe he's working West Coast time.
He might be. He might be out in the food truck. Who knows? But
Right.
we appreciate you coming through as always, brother. I think that with Biz, my favorite Biz is when he's just freestyling. Like, he's got a couple of songs I fuck with, But my favorite Biz to listen to is when we drop a beat and we let him go off the top because he amazes me with the things he comes up with.
I think I definitely have a bunch of songs of his I like, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think non-structured Biz is where he thrives.
It's
Just
his
go for
strongest
it.
part.
Yeah.
It's his strongest talent as an MC.
Yeah.
He shoots the gift well.
Agreed.
And I just don't I don't see it happening where I get like jealous of his shine or I think that I'm ready to join the party again.
Right.
If I was ever ready to join the party again, it would not be in a cipher with freestyling Biz.
Okay.
I'd have to fucking sharpen
work
the sword
your way up.
elsewhere
I
before
gotcha.
that happened.
I keep sneaking these beats in here and there that I feel like would appeal to you just to,
Yeah, no,
just to
and
pull
they
you
do.
closer.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful beats, and they grab me, and I appreciate them. But I just don't think I have it in me to like be a serious rapper ever again.
All right.
If I could find a way to do it and be funny,
Right.
maybe it'll happen.
Okay.
Because now I'm just looking for jokes.
Go up against Lil Dicky.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just looking to make you laugh. So if I could do that with rap and I feel like that's the way to go, then that's the way I'll go. I will tell you one more thing, and then we got to get out of here because my eyeballs are floating in urine.
Okay.
Okay? And we're down to the end of our next hour
At least
here.
you don't need a saline solution then.
No, yeah, they're lubricated. They're lubricated well. Do you follow Mayhem Loren on IG?
I don't follow him on IG. I'm familiar
bro.
with it. I follow his work though.
Okay, so you're familiar with what he's about and him as a character.
Yeah.
On IG, he's got such tomfoolery that it's fucking hilarious. It's kind of like low-key trolls, right?
Okay.
Because like Mayhem, as far as I know, doesn't smoke.
Okay.
Like ever, and he's made reference to not smoking.
Right.
Now, he
The way Dre used to.
a few weeks ago, I see him and he's doing a paid sponsorship ad for a weed company.
Oh, okay.
And like just talking about how he loves this weed and
This
shit,
is the best.
right? Now, today I think I saw one where he was, Mayhem's a bulky dude, like
Yeah.
never really discusses fitness, never really seemed to pretend to be fit.
Right.
But now he's partnered with a fitness
Now
app.
he-
And he's talking about how this is his favorite fitness
all
app
the fitness apps
because
I've
it
ever
can like
used.
track his aerobics workouts and shit. So he's out here like getting with companies and
Right.
collecting checks and then just fucking clowning them in the advertisement after he's already gotten the check. And I just fucking think it's phenomenal. I fucking love it.
Yeah, Fitness Coach Online. He's got his own got his own link on there.
Really matches up with his fucking persona. And these assholes are fucking paying him.
Oh yeah.
So who's in the wrong here?
So the game is, right, like a lot of these scenarios, they don't pay him in cash. They pay him like the way we're trying to get Duke to pass. Like, okay, when you send a person over, we send you money.
Yeah.
So it's about him driving traffic to them, and then their reward is that. So even though he's goofing, like I just clicked on it.
Yeah.
So he's sending people over going, this is ridiculous. He can't possibly be doing this. And then they click on it, and then he's getting paid. So he's got it. It's a solid
He gets
move.
his piece of the action off it.
Yeah.
Louis G says, maybe you can become like esoteric and go from hard raps to talking about his dog and comics and being a dad. I just don't think I could do it. I think that I'm either a fucking...
You don't have some raps about Tessie girl lined up?
I think I'm either a jail rapper or I'm not a rapper at all.
Well, so again, and I'm not trying to coax you one way or the other. If your talent is storytelling is storytelling.
That's true.
You should be able to make a compelling story about the time you drove your daughter to work, and it would be compelling because you're telling it.
But this is also a thing that we talked about. I have much more ability of storytelling in a free form
without
manner,
having the structure.
and I
over a
can
beat.
paint the picture so much more detailed
Right.
by writing short stories.
For sure.
Anyway, that has been our time. So if you're in the live chat, all you guys who hung out all this time through, we appreciate you being here. We were jumping. I appreciate everybody commenting and kicking it with us. I had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time. This will be released on Monday for the replay if you missed any of it and you want to watch. On YouTube, there's a whole bunch of episodes that you could watch on the playbacks. Starting next week, we'll have the audios back up, kind of synchronized with the episodes that they release. And on Monday, we'll be right back here with the Tool Shed live broadcast, and that's me and Biz and Payday. And we're here every week. And if you're in here, you probably know that. But if you don't, now you do.
Now you do.
Again, we appreciate it. I got to go pee and maybe cuddle up next to my wife and get a little nookie. That's my normal Friday night. Payday, you got anything you want to add, buddy?
I'm good.
All right. Happy Halloween, everybody. We're out.